Right, what is going on, guys? JJ Richards here, and welcome back to another YouTube video. So before we get into today's video, guys, please do me a big favor. If you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button right now. Have you done it? Come on, just do it right now. Thank you. And also, whilst you're doing it, drop the video a big thumbs up because I appreciate all the support from you guys as always. So today, it is Wednesday and we are like, what, 3 days post my last competition. And something I've noticed from kind of like analysing my physique and the photos from the stage is that I've noticed that I've kind of lost a little bit of thickness in my back. And that is partly to do with the way I've been training over the past 12 months. So if you're a new subscriber, you might not have known, but what I was trying to do is I had a goal where I wanted to try and deadlift 300 kilos. During that process, I pulled my back, which wasn't fun. So what I had to do is like alter my training, so a lot of the heavy hip hinging movements actually came out. And I did recently start reintroducing them, but I haven't been really going very heavy with it. So what I've decided to do now is I'm not going to go crazy heavy initially, but I'm going to start reintroducing deadlifts and heavy bent over rows in my back training sessions, because I've kind of been going on to the current trend of the single arm pulleys, a lot of like neutral grip pull down to try and focus on targeting my lats, which is great, but for me, I need to do the hard, heavy lifting from the ground in order to get that thickness back in my back. So that's what I'm going to do today. So literally day one today. So I've actually rested for a couple of days. So we rested on Monday and Tuesday. So it's a first session back today. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the gym. I'm going to show you my like old school way of training. So we're going to have a quick pre-workout now. I'll show you what that's going to be. Then we're going to head over to the gym. Right then. So it looks like we've got like mice in the house. Is that you? You've eaten some of my gains. Right, so pre-workout. So if you've been watching my content over the last few weeks, you will know that my little oatmeal and protein cookie is like my favourite thing at the moment. So this one's a little bit different. So we've got, will you get off it? So 100 grams of oats. There's like 30 grams of raisins. There's 30 grams of little dark chocolate chips. 25 grams of whey. Little bit of cinnamon, and these are absolutely banging. So we're going to have this, we're going to have some pre-workout, then we're going to head, will you get, oh my God. If I wasn't recording right now, I would literally go upside the head, but with all these people as witnesses, I can't do it. So we're going to eat this now. I'm going to try not to beat Lucy up, and then what we're going to do is go over, have a session, and we'll walk you through today's gains. So I'm quite excited about getting to the gym because that's one good thing like post-show is getting back into the gym, having some energy and being able to lift some decent weight again. So I'm very excited about the session today. Right then, so we're just making the pre and intra drinks. I'm going to show you what we've got. So pre-workout right here. So we've got 1 serving of C&P Full Tilt sour sauces flavour. So I do actually quite like this one. The taste isn't amazing, but I find that it's really good. So it's got a decent amount of caffeine, but it's not really crazy stim that after you have a workout you have that massive crazy come down. So it is quite nice that this kind of brings you up and then brings you back down nice and slowly. So obviously if you do need to do something after the gym, you can. You don't need to go and close your eyes in a dark room for 20 minutes whilst you kind of get over that come down. So I do really like that one. Also intra workout, this is my favourite one. So this is the Percy Pig flavour. Again, C&P loaded EAAs. So we do 10 grams of EAAs. We do 10 grams of glutamine. And also we've got 5 grams of creatine. So that's all mixed up in here. So I'll drink that whilst we work out. But right now, I need some caffeine in me because I feel a little bit tired. So you can get this in us. Head over to the gym. I'm actually quite excited because I have no idea what I'm going to be able to pull. And I'm not going to lie, I'm going to manage your expectations now. I'm not going to be going for any kind of PBs because a few days after a show, that would just be stupid. And usually I am pretty stupid, so normally I would try and do it. So we're just going to go in there, play it safe, but just kind of see where I'm at as like a starting point. And then what we'll do is we'll then build from that. So today is all about going in there, moving some weight, putting the food to good use that I've been having over the last couple of days, and then just kind of getting that baseline strength marker so we know what we need to progress moving forward. So it's at this point when I've got to be sensible, because the egotistic lifter that lives within inside me just wants to go as heavy as possible, because 180 for 6 felt quite easy. So what I'm going to do is, rather than trying to go crazy, is I'm going to be sensible. So I've just gone for 200. We're just going to do triples. So I'm going to keep going up in weight and doing triples until I can't get free anymore. Then I'm going to stop. So we're not going to be doing any crazy 1 rep maxes, because I'm going to be sensible, which is something I'm not very good at doing. Right, so we're going to continue with the sensible approach. So that was like 200 for free, which it felt okay. Like the weight didn't feel too difficult, but it's just getting back into the rhythm of the movement, because it's been months and months since we've actually done any deadlifts. And if you have watched the video of where I was attempting 300 kilos and I pulled my back, there is still a little bit of a mental block of trying to push this movement too far. It's almost like PTSD. I don't want to make it sound worse than it is, but I do have a little bit of a strange relationship with doing this movement now, so I am really scared to push it to absolute failure with a heavy weight, because I do not want to happen what happened to me last time. So I am trying to be a little bit sensible, and again, because we haven't done this movement for so long, today is just about getting back into the rhythm of the movement and just trying to see what I can do as that kind of foundation level to then progress. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a back off set. So I've just got 140 on the bar. We're just going to push 12 to 15 reps on this one. But I guarantee this gets me in the lungs more than anything. Like whenever I do a back off set on deadlifts, literally, you want to see the state of me. It's as if I've just ran a marathon, but when you're using every single muscle in your body to use a pretty heavy weight from A to B, it is pretty taxing. So don't judge me if you see me on the floor at the end of this set. So, I must say I was very, very pleased with how that workout went. Not solely because of like the lifting and the performance in the gym, but more so that I did something that I don't usually do, and that is train smart. So, like I said, like 200 for free went up pretty good, but my lower back was feeling proper pumped because obviously after you've been in a deficit for a long period of time, then the calories increase. You do tend to find that the pumps that you get for the next few days when you first start training after you've come out of a show prep, the pumps are like nothing you've ever felt before. So my back was absolutely pumped. So typically, because I was training in the commercial gym, you do get a lot of people watching, a lot of people commenting, and it does fuel the ego. I don't mind admitting, when it comes to lifting, I do have a pretty big one. So normally in that scenario, I would then put more weight on, try and impress everybody, try and show everyone what I could lift. However, I was mature. I'm actually getting quite mature in my old age. I thought, do you know what? That felt good, let's stop. And then even Lucy, when we got out the gym, said, I'm proud of you, babe, today, because you actually listened to your own advice for once and didn't just push and push and push. So that was really good. So happy with how that session went down. So that workout will be repeated every other week. So I've just mapped out my training program now, which I'll be doing for the next few months. Because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly just elaborate on these past couple of months really, and obviously my thoughts on how I looked at the shows and things like that. So I thought I'd just chat a little bit about that. So I did this prep totally different in the fact that I have been in a calorie deficit for probably about 4 months. However, because of the business and traveling, like it's been pretty difficult to kind of want to say, right, I'm going to do this show, because this year was supposed to be a full year off and the priority was solely based on business, which it was. So all we've been doing is getting the cardio in every day, eating in a deficit for a long period of time. And even when we're traveling, like, you know, I'm trying to be mindful of what choices we're making when we're eating out. Like, I haven't had like big dirty cheat meals. All I've been doing is just going to Turkish restaurants, having some chicken, having some rice, a little bit of salad. And that's how I've been managing my off-plan meals. Haven't really eaten any junk or processed food. Like the cardio has been an hour for probably about 3 months. But what I was doing is just creating long-term habits. So rather than kind of having a show day in mind and being so fixated by, okay, 16 weeks out, 15 weeks out, 14 weeks out, and then before you know it, it's like, okay, 6 weeks and 5 days, 6 weeks and 4 days, and then you're counting down the hours and then the minutes, and then all of the habits that you've put in place. You kind of get a bad relationship with those habits because it's like, God, I hate doing cardio. I can't wait to stop doing cardio. God, I can't wait to eat this junk food that I'd never normally eat, but because I'm on prep, I've got an eating disorder and I really want these chocolate brownies. So fuck it, 2 weeks from the show, I'm going to go and buy some and put it in the freezer for after the show, and all that weird kind of crap that you do when you're competing. None of that stuff existed. So I just wanted to be the deficit, continue to keep pushing condition, and then we were going to beat the whole show anyway. So I thought 3 weeks out, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to push a little bit deeper and try and get in shape for that show. And I didn't tell a single soul, apart from my wife, that I was doing that show. And do you know what, it was really nice not having any of the external pressures, because, you know, a lot of the friends that we have aren't in the bodybuilding industry and they don't quite understand it. And it gets really annoying when people are saying, oh, are you hungry? Oh, are you hungry? Oh, what's the first thing you want to eat after the show? And, oh, don't you look skinny? Like, all of that crap that you don't really want to hear. I don't really understand what they're saying. They just say it because they feel like they need to say something. Like, do you know what I mean? On the opposite side of that, I'm going into a rant now. If one of your mates started putting on some weight, I bet they don't go to and go, oh, God, you look a bit fat. You need to start losing some weight. But because we do what we do, they feel like they can comment on our physiques. And all that kind of annoying external kind of crap just didn't exist. So it was probably the best prep I think I've ever done because nobody knew I was doing it. Even on the day of the show, like, people were like, what? I didn't know you were competing. And it was real nice, it was real chilled, a real nice vibe. So yeah, again, when it comes into next year, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm just going to go into a deficit. I'm not going to pick a show. I'm just going to create some long-term habits, which I'm still doing. I'm still not eating like all the crappy processed foods. I'm still doing cardio every day. I've just minimized it. My food is the same off-season and pre-contest. The only difference is the amounts, and if I am doing a big bulk, I do eat a little bit of extra food on top because I need the extra calories to get big. So that's kind of going to be the same plan that I'm going to do every year now moving forward, and not be fixated on a date and just let the dates fit around me. So I'm going to keep pushing in a deficit. When I feel like I'm ready to jump into a show, I'm going to jump into a show rather than be like so fixed on a show and trying to make my body the best it can be for that day. I'm going to do it the other way around. So that was really nice. So I really enjoyed it. So in terms of my plan now, so from reviewing the pictures, we actually kind of did this like prep a little bit different in terms of bringing a slightly different look, because I'm really bad for pushing and pushing and pushing and just being condition. But what tends to happen is I do over diet, and then this past year I've really been focused on this kind of like upper shelf area, so upper chest, shoulders, arms. I've been trying to develop that because that for me is a little bit of a weakness that I have. And then when I diet and I over diet too much, I lose all the roundness and pop in those areas. So what we wanted to do is not absolutely kill myself in terms of condition. And Lucy's really good for actually helping me pull back a little bit when naturally I just want to push. And I really like the physique I brought to the stage. Like, yes, I was lean, but I wasn't absolutely crazy shredded peeled. But it's kind of that balance that I wanted to bring a bigger, fuller look up top rather than pushing for condition. And obviously, you know, I was awarded third place, which is, you know, something I haven't been able to do. And I've tried 5 times before, I think. I've come 4th in the last 3 shows I've done with a PCA with a British invite. And this time with a slightly different prep, I managed to come 3rd with an invite to compete at the World. So that was really good. So for me now, the main focus is I still need a little bit more arms, primarily in the triceps. And like I've mentioned, I need a little bit more back thickness. So I will go into like an off season now, but I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to blow up, because in terms of muscle mass for classic, I've got enough muscle mass for that class. And some of the classes that are weight restricted, I'm close to not being able to get down to that weight. So I do need to be mindful, because I hold a lot of muscle in my legs and my bum. So I am quite heavy because of that reason. So what I need to make sure I do is just focus on just trying to, you know, focus on the areas that I need to bring up. So i.e. my triceps, a little bit of back thickness. My quads don't need to be any bigger. So again, that's a really difficult one for me, because I love training legs, but I don't need to absolutely go in there and destroy them. So what I've done is I've changed my leg training up, so it's a little bit more hamstring focused. So I'm only actually doing like one like quad compound movement per leg session. But what I'll do anyway is I'll break down all my training with you, and I'll go through each session explaining why I've programmed my split in the way I have. So give you a bit of information, knowledge on what split I've done. And again, that's the best split for me. Might not be the best split for you, but based on what, you know, I think I need to work on, that's where I've done the programming for that. So yeah, that was a bit of a recap on the show preps and a bit of an update on what I'm going to do next. So I hope you guys all enjoyed that video. I appreciate it. I'm talking a lot, but I can talk a lot. That is one of my strengths, is I love the sound of my own voice. So make sure, as always, guys, give the video a big thumbs up. Drop some comments down below, like let me know what you want to see. Do you want to see more like training content, more day in the life content, more kind of like full day of eating content? Let me know what you guys want. I'm always trying to deliver the content that you guys will receive the best, because then you'll watch it, then you'll subscribe, and then my channel will grow. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Much love. Peace.